So we saw in the last video the format of a notice, and before that we also tried to understand what is a notice, why is a notice drafted, and the fact that it is a formal piece of communication and it is used for in organizations for communication to a group of people, right? So this group could be students if it's a college, or staff, or non-teaching staff if it's uh, an office. It could be certain departments, certain groups of employees, right? Now we were looking at the format, this format, if you remember, and we had a good look at all these elements which should be a part of a notice. And here now you have the template. So this is ideally how your notice should, what your notice should look like if you're uh, writing, if you're given a writing assignment, a notice writing assignment. So you have the name of the issuing agency over here. Then you have the word notice written in bold and capital letters. You have the date, then you have the subject of the event, you have the body over here, and in the body you will have the date, time, duration, place, and venue. So if it's the annual gathering, this is to inform everybody that the annual gathering is to be organized on Sunday, the 28th of January, 2021, from 5:30 onwards in the seminar hall. So everything is included, right? And then you have the authorized signatory. So you need the person's signature over here, followed by the name and the designation of the person. So this is your template which you have to bear in mind. Now let's understand the language that is required for notice. Now earlier I discussed and I mentioned that every piece of correspondence, whether it's written or whether it's verbal, will engage in a specific use of language, right? So the same goes for a notice, the same goes for official communication. So earlier, if you remember, I had mentioned stock phrases. So now we see that these are some stock phrases which form or which comprise the language for notice. Now, over here, if you see, everyone is instructed to, all must, it is hereby notified that. This is to notify everyone that. So these are ways of starting a notice, because then, of course, it's the date, time, place, event thing. So for that, you just need to write a sentence. But this is how you need to start. These are the phrases with the help of which you need to draft a notice. All concerned are notified that. Now, here concerned could be replaced by all employees or all department heads or all students are notified that. This notice is to inform everyone that everyone is requested to attend the felicitation ceremony, things like that. So, right? So, these are some stock phrases which might come handy when you when you're trying to draft a notice. Yeah, so now this is very important. These are some do's and some don'ts for writing a notice. Now, one thing which we have to understand is that notice is like a piece of news, it's a piece of information. So, the word limit has to be kept in mind. A notice should not ideally exceed 50 words because it shouldn't be too long, you know. The message has to be very crisp and clear, right? Uh, the same thing need not be repeated because this is not an essay, it's not a story, it's not a piece of creative writing. So it needs to be precisely worded and very specifically mentioned only once. A notice ideally should be always enclosed in a box. So, because that's the standard template. The moment there's a box and you have the content inside the box, immediately your mind tells you, I mean, you're familiar with certain templates, right? So your mind immediately tells you that, well, this is a notice, right? Your notices should be short, crisp, and to the point. I think I've already focused on this aspect of a notice. that it shouldn't beat around the bush, it shouldn't use a lot of figurative language, a lot of descriptors. No, it's not required, right? The words notice and title need to be highlighted. Highlighted means they could be put in bold. They need to be in capital letters so that they are immediately visible. The title should be captivating and eye catching. So the title shouldn't be very long. So if it's annual gathering, so notice annual gathering, or notice staff meeting, or notice green day, or notice um, geography day, things like that. Make sure you do not mention your personal information. So you don't have to be subjective while writing a notice. Uh, if you had noticed the language, it is hereby notified that this is to notify that. So you will not see anybody, uh, you will not find any of the notices using the subjective pronoun I. I would like to notify that. No. Or we would like to notify. So the subject is omitted. So there's no kind of a personal interaction. There's no semblance of a personal interaction, right? Make sure, yeah, so we have done with this, that it shouldn't have your personal information. Also, when you are issuing it, let's look at this. If you are the one who is issuing it, it should have only the name, designation and your signature, not your house address and not any other personal detail. It's not required, right? And your answers, your the body of the notice should include answers to the 5 W's. Now what are these 5 W's? What, why, when, where and who. So what is happening? Why, I would say it is optional, right? um, but when is very important, where is very important, and who it is meant for. So definitely what, when, where and who, but why could be um, optional depending on the subject matter of the notice and what the notice is about. So yes, the notice that we earlier saw about the green drive, if you remember, here let us go and check if the drive notice has everything. So it has what? So what is it? It's a green drive. Who is it for? It's for the students, right? Why? Why is it being organized? So this is to inform that the school is organizing a green drive to create awareness among the students. So there's this reason clearly mentioned, right? That so this is the why of it, right? Then this is the when of it, right? And so you have what, where, why, who, and when, but all notices need not have the why factor, right? Now, this is a sample notice for you. Uh, if you see the name of the college, then the word notice, the date, this is the topic, call for submissions. This is to inform all the students that our college is going to publish its annual magazine next month. All those who wish to contribute can mail their entries to this email ID. Write-ups will be accepted latest by March 30. So you see the when is very important. This is the where. So where do you mail it? You mail it here. Who is it for? This. And what is it? It's a call for submission, right? You can take any topic of your choice. So these are additional details. And for further information, contact your class teachers. And this is the signing authority. Now, this is another sample notice. If you see, attention, so this is very eye catching. Immediately, all your antennae are up, because this is a warning. We all know this is a warning. So, this notice is to inform all residents regarding the suspension of water supply for 8 hours. So, you see, sometimes you need to also put certain phrases in bold so that they are immediately, even if the person does not want to read the entire thing, this phrase will catch the person's attention. Suspension of water supply, right? For 8 hours, date and time are again given in bold, and we request you to store. So again, the signing authority, right? So this is maybe the kind of notice you will find in a cooperative housing society or a building complex, right? So that was all about notices. I hope you found these sessions beneficial, and I'll see you again in another video with another new topic. So till then, bye bye.